Hey everyone, welcome back to FluentCast. I'm Diego, your host, and as always, I'm excited to have you here with me. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to FluentCast on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. Today, I want to take you on a little journey into the mysterious corners of the human mind. I'll start with a quick story. When I was about 9 years old, I was watching a spooky show on TV. You know, the kind with creepy music and haunted houses. That same night, the lights in my house flickered for just a second, and I swear, for years I believed it was a sign that a ghost was nearby. Looking back now, I can laugh at it, but it makes me wonder, why do our minds invent fate, ghosts, and even wild conspiracy theories? Today's episode will blend psychology, neuroscience, and real-world examples to help us understand the science behind the curious beliefs we humans hold on to. Ready? Let's get into it. First, let's talk about something fascinating, our brain's habit of telling stories. You see, the human brain evolved to find patterns, and not just real patterns, any patterns. Our ancestors survived because they could spot connections with colors or sounds. For example, they learned to connect some animal noises with danger. That noise means a tiger is near, but sometimes the survival skill goes a little overboard. There's a fancy word for this, apophenia. Apophenia means seeing connections that aren't really there. In simple words, apophenia is when our mind treats two unrelated events as if they are linked. For example, imagine you are late for an appointment or work, and when you are on the street, you get 3 green lights in a row. You might think, the universe wants me to get there on time. In reality, it's just random, but our brain loves to tell a good story. This ability to find patterns is essential for survival, but it also explains why we sometimes feel like fate is guiding us when coincidences happen. And speaking of coincidences, let's move into another common human experience, feeling a presence when we are alone. Why do people report seeing ghosts? Another trick our brain plays is called pareidolia. Pareidolia is when you see a face in the clouds or a shadow on the wall that looks like a person. Our brains are wired to detect faces because from an evolutionary point of view, recognizing faces quickly was important for survival. But when the light is low or we're feeling a little scared, our brain sometimes sees faces where there aren't any. There's also our ancient fear response. Think about when the lights go out. Even if you're a logical adult, you might feel a chill or hear a strange noise and get nervous. That's your survival instinct waking up, the part of your brain that evolved to be cautious in the dark when predators could be hiding. One famous example of how suggestion plays a role is the story of a haunted house investigation where people saw ghosts only to find out later that hidden speakers were playing low-frequency sounds. These sounds made people feel uneasy without them even realizing it. Their brains filled in the gaps with ghost stories. Now, let's move from old fears to modern ones. Let's talk about conspiracy theories. From secret government plots to crazy viral rumors, why are conspiracy theories so attractive? It all comes down to something called cognitive bias. Cognitive bias means the shortcuts our brain takes to make decisions faster, but sometimes these shortcuts lead us to believe things that aren't true. One very common cognitive bias is confirmation bias. This is when we only pay attention to evidence that supports what we already believe, and we ignore anything that doesn't fit our ideas. And by the way, evidence means facts or information that support an idea. Before we continue, let's quickly define skepticism. Skepticism is thoughtful doubt. It's when you ask for proof instead of believing something right away. Practicing skepticism is healthy. It means staying open-minded but careful. So the question is, why do people want to believe in big conspiracies? And the answer is very simple. Part of it is emotional. Believing that there's a hidden force controlling everything can actually feel safer than accepting that life is random and chaotic. In a strange way, conspiracy theories offer comfort. They suggest that someone is in control, even if that someone is doing bad things. The danger, of course, is that spreading conspiracy theories can cause real harm. False beliefs can lead to violence, division, and a loss of trust in important institutions. And today, social media amplifies everything. Algorithms, which are like automatic computer programs, show us more of what we already believe. This creates an echo chamber, a place where you only hear your own opinions reflected back at you. And that's how conspiracy subcultures grow. Let's connect everything we've learned. We've seen that our brains love finding patterns, apophenia, love detecting faces, pareidolia, and sometimes jump to conclusions based on emotional needs, cognitive biases. We've also learned two important words, evidence and skepticism. As you read news articles or listen to other podcasts, try spotting these words. Practice using them in sentences like, I remain skeptical about that rumor until I see real evidence. Building your critical thinking in English is not just great for your vocabulary, it's also great for understanding the world around you. Now, a little reflection. Have you ever believed in a sign that you thought was guiding you? Maybe you found a book at just the right time, or met someone by accident who changed your life. Or maybe you've been home alone, heard a weird noise, and immediately thought, ghost. Or have you ever caught yourself believing a crazy story only to later realize it wasn't true? If you have a story, I'd love for you to share it. Send a short voice note or a comment on our social media. You'll be practicing your English and maybe inspiring a future episode too. Alright, my friends, that's it for today. Thank you for exploring these fascinating topics with me. Remember, understanding why we believe in fate, ghosts, and conspiracies helps us become stronger thinkers and more advanced English speakers too. When you can explain why we see patterns or feel fear, you're using powerful vocabulary and learning more about yourself. Before we wrap up, just a reminder, if you want to take your English to the next level, you can book one-on-one classes with us at Fluent English Academy. Personalized lessons, real progress, real connection, and next Monday, don't miss a special episode where Thais, one of our amazing teachers at the Fluent English Academy, will join us to talk about life lessons and the wisdom we gain along the way. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and as always, keep learning. See you next time.